fast tortoise in the show, drinking coffee, wishing you all well, because life is swell. Super fast tortoise. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and trends have been the senses. Let's get up, it's sexless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise from the show, morning coffee. Yeah, we had two people off camera. What kind of morning is this? Everybody,
I got notes. I have notes for the show. It's that kind of morning.
Oh, yeah. Well, like after last night and the other night where I dominated with Voltron deck, I'm like, let's talk Voltron, and you kind of inspired it last night. Like, we need to get together and talk Voltron. So I'm like, this would be a good primer. So if we do an episode on your channel, we'll have thoughts and opinions ready for more of a crisp, clean video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you are treading dangerously close to where and why I started Tibalts Apprentice for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was about winning or not winning, as the case may be.
Yeah.
And so, being up against formidable decks is what started Tibalts Apprentice. So we'll talk more about that later.
We'll talk about that later, everybody. Hope you guys got your favorite libation, like your coffee, soda, drink, milk, whatever you're drinking today. Hope it's waking you up. Woo, woo. Look at Hillbilly. Look at Hillbilly. He thinks he's all innocent. It's kind of funny because he's building a Voltron deck too.
Kinda.
Well, your commander is a Voltron commander.
True.
Clotus or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clotus the Fang Bear.
Fang Keeper.
Fang Keeper. Oh,
Yeah.
I keep thinking he's a Fang Bear.
There is a Fang Bear in Magic the Gathering, but he cares about poison counters.
True.
Your commander cares about stealing other people's stuff through combat.
Nice.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh man. Last night between the game and the show, I was listening to a lot of music because I needed to listen to music and get my head in the right mindset for the games. And oh my lord, I didn't realize the bracket games I was going to have. The bracket 4 games felt like competitive CEDH to me.
That's what I thought watching it.
I'm like, holy cow, what kind of bracket 4 decks are these?
They are closer to CEDH for sure. Absolutely.
Should have definitely brought my Rafik deck to that table. It's a bracket 3 deck, but it plays like bracket 4 better than Tulane plays like bracket 4. But if I was a certain player, I'd always somehow start the game with a Soul Ring and whatnot in my hand. Even though yesterday's games, I ended up starting with Soul Ring in my hand. I thought that was weird. I'm like, hey.
It's a curse. It could be a curse.
It could be a curse.
It depends because there's so much that goes into this. But I'm going to be off and running on our topic, and I shouldn't do that. I should wait till you call for it.
Yeah. Well, it's very interesting because it's a very hot topic. Like, to jump into it, like I've been trying to get this topic off my chest. The feelings I had after last night. I felt like Hillbilly the other night, who barely survived turn 5.
Barely, I didn't.
That's the point. You know, like, it's getting harder to scale Voltron decks with the bracket system because the bracket system says it's one thing, and you're like, okay, it must be this one thing. Then it plays completely bonkers.
Yep.
You know.
So How? Oh man, are we jumping into the topic, or should I wait for the card of the day? Should I wait for any of those things? Because man, I'd like.
We have to get to the card of the day still.
Yeah,
but
let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, the card of the day.
Card of the day.
Ooh. Bond of Agony sent in by TCGdudes, the card of the day. So, funny thing is, me and my friend used to play this card in Standard, and we played it wrong. Because it was the first time we ever seen as additional cost to pay Bond of Agony, pay X life. We thought X was the amount of life you paid. So my friend would pay 1 black and X life in a deck that would win by turn 2 with this card until we realized you had to actually pay them black mana pips too. You had to pay into X with mana, and X had an equal amount of life you were willing to pay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we thought X was your life that you paid into it. So
Right.
for 1 mana X life, because there was a card that basically dropped your opponent's life to like 10. Then you pay 1 black and 10 life and drain him for the rest of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wrong, but nice.
Wrong.
Yep.
We thought was the bee's knees. There was a rat stack too back in the day that played it. That's pretty neat back in the day. This card's from Dissension, part of the original Ravnica block, my favorite block of all time. Yeah. Aaron O'Neill, I remember being guilty of this too back in the day. No, I almost said a bad word. No but yeah, I used to be guilty of that for sure. Because like Magic, they don't always make things. When they try something new, and especially without text, like reminder text, you don't always know what that means. That additional cost,
Right.
I mean, nowadays I know better, but back then we were all in the wild, wild west of Magic.
Yeah, but they still make some confusing cards. Just like my Miracle deck says, cards in my hand have Miracle. But
Right.
the way Miracle works is it's a top card you draw.
Yeah, it's the first card you draw each turn.
Right. So why would my hand have Miracle?
Right, and
Yeah.
that it's a useless mechanic for those cards because it ain't the first card you draw anymore.
Yep. So that don't make no sense why cards in my hand has Miracle when it's always the top card I draw.
Right. Yeah.
It's just confusing.
Right. It's a static ability to say the miracle cost on your cards are there, but if you want to play the miracle card for reduction cost, you have the ability to.
Right.
To reveal the card that you drew.
Right.
Yeah. It's a learning curve. Magic can be a learning curve indeed.
Yep. I still don't understand that dang old Miracle deck.
Yeah, dude, I'd play the hell out of that deck.
Oh yeah.
But it needs a little upgrading. It needs a couple tutors.
Yeah, it does.
And like even the tutors that put the card on top of your library would be good in that deck because that's what you want. Is that reduction and miracle.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, Bond of Agony is the card of the day. Now let's get to the picture of the day. The power of Voltron powering up games, making games huge, making games fast.
Yep.
That was a cool picture that came up with the turtle. It has a shell, but what happened to the front of him? He's absolutely ripped, but he doesn't have that turtle belly, that turtle shell, that little casing.
I see just a little bit of an edge behind him, it looks like. Unless that's his lat sticking out there.
Right. Sensei's Divining Top is what made Miracles good, especially in modern. Aaron, good.
Yep. I got a couple of those.
Yeah, Divining Top was pretty solid for sure. But yeah, I made the picture of the day represent the topic of the day when we get to the topic because Voltron pushes the brackets, right? That's one thing we noticed, and that's one thing I've dealt with the last couple of weeks. I was a part of it, and I was against it, and it was definitely able to tell that Voltron really pushes the power levels. All right. But with that, my friends, we're going from the picture today to the question of the day. Question today is brought to us by MTG Hillbilly. Ah, man. I bet Tibalt's going to have a field day with this one.
Hey, everybody. Here's the question of the day. Since we've been talking about Commander here lately, the question is, can you build a Commander where all your cards cost less than $5 a piece?
Well,
The answer is yes.
the short answer is yes. And you can
Yes.
find those cards at Tibalt's darkritual.site. You know.
No, I want you to buy the $5 cards.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but it has to be a functional commander deck.
So, unfortunately, this is now a defunct channel. But if you go to Budget MTG Decks, they did every card under $1.
No.
Every card. The only restriction was their commander could be like whatever X number of dollars or whatever it was. But every single card in the deck was less than $1, and those decks kicked ass.
Yeah, I remember that channel. I used to watch that channel a lot.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I got a chance to interview David for my channel at one point. And it was great. It was great. It was a heck of a time difference. I think we were like 13 hours apart or something.
Nice.
But it worked out really well. But man, I love that channel. My decks, my zombie deck was from their channel initially. Now it's upgraded since then. But also my Worth the Raid Mother deck was straight off their channel. So again, every card under $1, at least at the time of recording. And since those cards since they haven't updated the channel in a very long time, those cards are probably still under $1, if not even lower.
Oh, nice. And it says depends if Crinkles is having a sell or not, right? Nice.
Good point.
Believe it or not, I have a deck that's built with all my cards are less than $5. It's an Artifact Storm deck.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
And look, Rafika the Mini was a deck that was originally built under $5 a card. And it's because it's based off scraps. Because of people mailing in cards, upgrading the deck over time, it's more expensive. But it was like now, I think the problem you'll have with building decks under $5 in general is you'll be stuck between bracket 2 and bracket 3 always with those decks. I don't think you're gonna get bracket 4 in those decks. I mean, but like I said, Rafik was built on a budget, very low budget terms. Even Rafik himself was like a $2 card at the time. The biggest upgrades in the deck that are worth more money are the lands. You know, the lands will get you when you're upgrading your deck and upscaling your deck's bracket. And also, some cards I got for free or through a trade, like, or worth more than $10 was like the tutor, the enlightened tutor. Then I also got Eldrazi Conscription out of a trade, so I didn't have to spend money for those cards. So does that count?
Well, they cost more than $5, so they can't go in the deck.
Well, at the time when I built Rafik, it wasn't originally in the deck, but it upgraded through a trade. Yeah. So all I'm saying, it like even back then, it was still removing a player by turn 4. Now it just has more consistency because the difference between the budget deck and the deck it is now is the budget deck was like a mono red deck. You got powered really quick early game, then it got shut down mid game. The upgrades made the deck more viable to last mid game. So powered up early game, last mid game, and pushes for a late game. That's the difference in the budget of the deck. Yeah. Because like even I felt bad that I'd like remove a player by turn 4, then the rest of the game would go on for another hour and a half because my deck got debunked and I was struggling in. So I had to fix the problem where I had to be in the game so the person who got kicked out first wasn't sitting there for an hour and a half doing nothing. Mrs. Hillbilly says, Good morning, Tibalts.
Good morning. Why do I rate and nobody else does? That's okay though.
That's right. All right. But yeah. So the short end of the questions, yes, you can build a budget deck under $5 a card.
Takes a little bit of work and a little bit of synergy, but it absolutely can be done. I actually put the link, though I don't know why I'm showing up as Dread Return again, but whatever. I put the link in the what do you call it, the comments. So
Cool.
Like I know a guy who built an annoying deck. He built a deck under $5 a card, and almost every card in his deck was a counterspell and a board wipe.
nice.
So there are powerful decks out there that can stop a game, stall a game. You just have to have a winning condition.
Yeah,
Yep.
And that was the nice thing about the again budget MTG decks was the fact that they were all amazingly playable. They weren't just glass cannons. Some of them were. I probably have told this story before or whatever, but I'll do it one more time. My mistake with my Wart the Raid Mother deck is I turned it into a glass cannon deck when I was buying the cards for it, because I pretty much just net decked that one. I pretty much just went down the list and bought each card that they said, except when I got to the one that said counters, I thought, I've got stacks of counters over here. I don't need to buy those. And then when the deck arrived to me, I'm like 20 cards short. They weren't counter, they were generates counters. So there's whole half of the deck that I am not using because I was supposed to be making tokens. I was supposed to be making creatures to attack with. So this straight up just became a fireball deck. I was losing out on half the thing. So I made that one a glass cannon myself. Their version of the deck, though, again, everything under $1 was absolutely awesome, but it was 100% synergistic. And so it did lots of different things.
Oh, yeah. MTG Mrs. Hillbilly says, because I said, well, good morning to SFT backstage. Whoa, whoa.
Hanging out in the green room.
So remember yesterday's topic about the scope and putting like removal, mana ramp, and draw spells? That's built there. So if you do build a budget deck, it's really good with helping your deck homage to a powerful synergy. Yeah, we already covered that comment.
I didn't mean to click on that. Finger slipped on the keyboard.
But still. Anyways, let's get on topic. We got a fireball with Tibalt here, who's ready to fire some questions. But I'll give you a minute to read the questions, figure out which one. Let me get into the introduction of the topic. So let's talk about Voltron Commander decks, how they jump the power level and enhance the bracket system. Let's talk about the feedback and experiences with these decks and plays that we are having. How do we bracket them, and are they fair in the bracket system? You know, that's the question we got. Because like my Rafika the Mini is a bracket 3 deck, but the other day just dominated like a bracket 4, maybe CEDH deck, even though it's bracket 3. You know, if I were to hard case it in the bracket system, like how the deck building site puts it, it's a bracket 3 deck. But sometimes it plays like a madman. So what kind of problems can that increase? That, like, when you go into a game and people are playing bracket 3 and it plays like a bracket 4 or CDH deck, that's almost not fair to the rest of the table, but you can't always gauge how well your deck's going to play in the beginning.
Right.
Go ahead.
I 100% disagree with you. I think you're wrong. You are crazy. You are crazy. Okay, now I got that on my system. I'm going to say I kind of disagree. I understand what you're saying up to a point, but my general feeling is Voltron commanders are weak, and they're always going to be weak. And unless you're playing at a table full of them. Last night's example was a very good one because everybody had strong decks and relied heavily on their commander. And I'm simply speaking from my personal experience.
Your personal experience. Kind of a freak of the mini week. He's kicked your butt enough times.
Yeah, yes and no. And, even if he got my butt, he didn't necessarily get everybody else's. But
Right.
so here's my general thought. I agree with what you're saying. I understand that individually they can be very very oppressive or seem very oppressive. Single Voltron commanders at a table can be that way. But if you know you're going into it, I suggest you have a removal package in your commander deck to be able to handle them.
Oh yeah.
My goal is, for example, playing at the LGS back in California, in LA there. Captain Nagathrid was just a terror at the table for a while. But threat assessment, I just targeted that commander and made him so expensive to cast that the guy, honestly, like the guy walked just because he got to the point where he's like, I'm never going to be able to cast my commander. My commander is necessary for my deck to work. So, after a few rounds where it was clear that he went and found another game or another table or a pod that he could beat up. So, it's so that also causes a problem though if you're just preparing to fight against one single person. So that's why I think it's important for you to put a removal package in your deck to be ready for that. Like I said, if it's a table full of Voltron commanders, that might be something else. But individual games don't necessarily dictate how your whole deck should be built.
You missed last night's first game, didn't you?
I watched the whole game. I sat there for the whole thing.
Last night's first game was ridiculous. No one can get rid of Clotus because he was indestructible and he kept removing people's removal spells.
Well, I was just getting ready to say, you had the stuff to deal with him in your deck. You just didn't get to play your deck. He was playing for you. So,
Right.
yeah, I watched that whole thing. I wasn't even going to, I was just going to pop in and say hi, but then it's like, this was going to end pretty quick, so I better watch this. So I watched the whole thing from beginning to end. And yeah, okay, I did step out for a second to get some coffee to sit down and watch the rest of it. But
pretty intense game last night. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Both games.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the second game and stuff, but the first game I saw the whole thing. But yes, you had plenty of answers in there. The other thing is when you're playing, it feels like the pod needs to address it as best they can. I don't know. I can't speak for every card that I didn't get to see everybody else's deck. I got to see a lot of yours because he kept playing your deck.
That's right.
But the other thing is sometimes it's important to set aside your desire to win to maybe handle somebody else that is running away with the game. I think a lot of people think, well, I'm going to win. I'm going to let these things happen. You have to balance that out.
Right.
With, I'm going to take one for the team so that we can all play because this person is getting out of hand. So I don't know if that could have happened last night or not, but anyhow, I'm yammering on to
what happened last night. Half my good cards could have not got milled.
Yeah.
Or not milled, exiled.
I was going to say then left in exile and stuff because he was casting some of the good ones, but he wasn't going to cast the ones that you needed.
Yeah, he kept removing my counter spells. One Ray Man, what's up? It says afternoon, morning, folks. It says the issue is a Voltron commander is going to get crumped against real bracket 4 decks. Their commander probably never touches the table with the amount of free spells. Well, that's the tough part because bracket 4, like the bracket 4 games we had last night, we had 2 games where the person who was winning in each game felt like more of a CEDH deck than a bracket 4. Like, and that's because the amount of spells, especially when someone gets like a turn 1 Soul Ring and Arcane Signet on the battlefield, like then gets mana rocks, then gets the stuff to play. The free spells aspect is insane. Clotus is like, I never heard of him before, even though he's in Tarkir. I should have known him, like Dragonstorm, because Tarkir is one of my favorite blocks of the year. But like he's a really good commander and built right, and even his deck can be built on a budget. Like Hillbilly was asking, like $5 budget. With a good focus and synergy, there's definitely a way to get the value out of it, because the value for Clotus is getting the value from your opponents, and the bigger and more dangerous Clotus gets with his power and as much damage as he gets, he's going to be stealing lots of stuff. You know, and look, I think if I played Rafik, my bracket 3 deck last night, I think I'd had a better chance of winning. So the real difference between Power 4 and 5 is the base around the meta. So a 4 deck probably is as powerful as many CDH decks can be, I guess. Because my bracket 4 deck's not that powerful, apparently. It's like on a lower scale. Oh. Swords of Plowshare exiles the commander outright, ignores buffs, and indestructible protection path. Exile does the same. Cheap exile deletes the threat for good generous gift, removes the mini permanent. That's right. And Dread Return, it also says, or as equipment, creatures lands, huge versatility, beast within, same flexible removal, and green hits commander and their protection pieces. That's right.
The list goes on. but you have to get those cards in your hand, and that's what I saw happening. And sometimes just bad matchups happen. I mean, that's the thing too and stuff. So sometimes it could just be bad. But if you've got enough things like Reality Shift, Return to Dust, Forsaken the Worldly, Aura of Silence, Wear and Tear, there's all kinds of things that you can do that will help protect yourself from Voltron.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. One Rayman. The Clotus player locally built a bracket 3 deck that's more powerful than it feels or seems, and so you built a VV bracket 4 deck and blew them away. The difference in power. Well, also, as like Hillbilly was mentioning the other day, is there's like different power levels in the brackets, right? Like there's different power levels in the brackets, because like you can have a soft bracket 3 deck, or you can have a hardcore bracket 3 deck. Same with bracket 4. Like my deck's like a medium bracket 4 deck, and I was playing against like an aggressive bracket 4 deck last night. And because like Tulane deck that I was playing last night does have some good removal in it and whatnot, but it really cares about going for those extra turns just to go infinite. That's the main win condition I go for. So if anybody wants to send me free time walks, I'm here.
No more extra turns for you. No. Don't send them to me, and I'll sell them and we split the profits with you. Don't send them to Super Fast.
But still. But I do think there's a power scale issue with Voltron decks, right? And the power scale, like, even though you're saying there's ways to deal with them and having all these cards that can deal with them, well, that's great and fine and dandy. But, that doesn't talk about the deck builds. Like most deck builds, like if you ever watch my Rafik deck, builds up really quick if you take care of the threat. And that's the bonus in it.
Mm-hmm.
The Run Rayman says 3 is a very broad, but there are people with game changers in their bracket 2 decks that have no spot business being in bracket 3. That makes sense. That's the main issue with the brackets. Game changers should be so hard and fast in rules. Well, the thing is, like in my Rafik of the mini deck, there's some powerful cards, like powerful costed cards, I should say, like cards with money value to them. But the deck doesn't win just with the money value card. It's all those cheap 10, 50 cent cards that build up my creatures. In fact, most of the creatures I win with in that deck most of the time cost like $1 at most. And it's these 10, 50 cent cards that build them up. Then I cast Rafik to double the damage.
Mm-hmm.
And Clotus, last night's deck, was about getting Clotus out first, fast, building them up, and do that damage to steal your opponent's stuff so you get the value from your opponents. So the strategy behind some of these Voltron decks really takes the power out of your opponents. Like last night, all my good stuff was getting removed. You know, that's what Hillbilly wants to do is remove all our powerful games so he plays our decks and we don't play our decks.
Yeah, well, I'm tired of losing all the time.
Well, you need to build a deck, and if that's the way you need to go, all you're gonna like in the end, all you're gonna do is teach us to build better decks.
I'm going to disagree and say there's nothing wrong with the decks you're playing, Hillbilly. And I think there are. So this is just a difference of, I don't want to say difference of opinions. I think it's a difference of strategies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe what Hillbilly needs to do or wants to do or should do is build in a more similar fashion to the decks that I try to do that are more toolbox commanders.
Right.
Where it's not necessarily, I'm never really focused on the win condition per se. I'm focused on dealing with specific larger issues. And maybe that would be a better way. So it's a different strategy and a different approach,
Right.
I think, to the decks.
There's always a different approach for sure. The one Rayman says, like my Walls deck, bracket 3, but only because it has Seedborn Muse and Aura Shards. These aren't expensive cards, but they are on the game changer list. That's right. And 2 box equals life. Those decks are so much fun. No, I get it. Like our deck building strategies, I think Hillbilly is learning his deck building right now. Like getting better, trying to get better at it. Because Clotus is kind of a, if you know Voltron, Clotus is like a self build. You kind of know what you need. Toolbox. Right. Like my deck building strategy is always similar, but they always change based on the win conditions I want to win with. Like when I build a deck, I think about how I want to win more than what do I win with, right? Because like when I build a deck, I don't think how am I going to win with this card. I don't think that. I think what's my winning strategy? With dragons, I want to smash face. Well, how am I going to smash face? Well, I need to get cards from the yard or get cards out fast.
Captain Waffles.
Captain Waffles. Good morning. But then also one of the things I do think about when I build decks, I don't think a lot of people talk about when deck building is, and we didn't talk about it yesterday, and what that is. Scale Sneaks, dragons for the win. That's right. I love dragons. But anyways, one thing that no one really talks about when deck building is not threat assessment, but thinking of game interactions. Like when I'm building a deck, I'm like, well, okay, here's how I want to win. Here's my path to winning. Now, if people want to, the basic interactions to stop my win condition is going to be removal. How do I stop that? Or how do I go against that? I need to get back in the game. Hence why my Jurassic Park deck has that big removal, that recursion package, because people are going to blow up dinosaurs on sight. I mean, those things are huge. Have you seen those things? They're huge. You know, people are going to blow them up, board wipe, whatever. So I need to get them back from the graveyard or clone them, you know.
Yes. And I know people say that's a crutch and it's a bad thing to do, but sometimes a board wipe is the best way to reset the game for everybody. And I think, and this is going to sound horrible, but we keep talking about the game that you had last night. I almost feel like other players should have done themselves a favor by taking you out of the game quicker, because he would have then lost his stuff and he would have lost his stockpile.
Right. I couldn't take myself out of the game. And there was even a point in the game I told him he can't attack me anymore or he'll lose all the good stuff he stole.
Exactly.
Someone else should have smacked me, you know? Got rid of his stuff. That would have been completely fine with that because I would have been strategic.
Yeah.
You know? Getting rid of Hillbilly the other day. He started getting his lands out. I know, and he started getting his lands out, his land card out, the one where he placed the lands from the graveyard, I believe it was. Unless I'm wrong on the card. But
you're right. I get to play a land from my graveyard. That's all it does.
Right. And I'm thinking, well, if I take him out, then I got 2 more people to focus on, and well, I can't really say too much about that game because I was not expecting to go from infect to infect in a deck. I didn't realize we wouldn't get an infect creature after I lost my big infect creature because one of the power scale issues is knowing how your deck's going to run. like I've explained in that video a couple lives ago, that my deck only has 7 sources of infect in the deck. And one of them is just an aura. 5 of them are creatures, and the other one's a toxic creature, you know? So I did not expect to see that kind of resilience in the game. But strategically, taking out a player made it easier for me to win. People tried to focus on me because I became the big threat. But then the threat assessment was people didn't have enough removal.
Yeah.
I just take everyone out, and there's no problem. That's right. The one Rayman says interaction is an interesting thing. Some decks don't care about it. One of the top CDH decks right now runs 0 interaction. I mean 0. And yeah, that's true. Trader Trend's like player removal is the best removal.
So
Right.
it's interesting because I go not the exact opposite, but I go the opposite as far as deck building in what am I going to face? So what am I going to play? And sadly, well, not sadly, usually, because win condition isn't my first concern, that's the way I build my deck. But that fits well in a pod where other people are going for the win.
Right.
It doesn't always suit if I'm playing against 3 other Pillow Fort people. It leads to horrible games that go on for days.
Oh yeah.
But depending on finding your balance is a good place to be in. But I understand, and I talked a little bit about it at the top of the show. Tibalts Apprentice began because I was so angry and frustrated and salty about losing so often. And I took that personally. So part of it had to be a change in my mindset. But I also changed the way I built my decks and how I approached it. And those things then fell into place. So I hate to see anybody at all get discouraged because of losses. There were things that I would do where I would set just personal goals for that night as, I'm going to do this and get this thing done. And so one by one, I built up to become, if not a better player or win more often, but somebody that was fun to play with and had more fun interacting in the games. Like I don't have to win if I can do the thing or if I get to see my deck do the thing. So that's just kind of a thing just to throw out there and stuff is like, I hate to see anybody get discouraged and try not to do that if it's getting to that point. I really did get to the point where I was upset and I was playing against people that had really deep pockets. And I felt that I was in an insulated group of players, a specific pod. And there was no way I could compete. There was just nothing. And I was so down on myself because I couldn't afford the cards they were playing. And I only saw the price tag attached to the cards.
Right.
And so finding budget MTG decks showed me that I didn't need money for cards. I didn't need expensive cards. I just needed to play better synergies. And I remember that feeling. I can still remember the excitement when I looked at my hand and I'm like, I'm going to take these 2 word out this next turn. Because it was so exciting to me that like, I'm going to get them. They had just massive board states and stuff like that. But it's like, I've got the synergy in I have the power.
There's a lot of power in budget cards.
For sure.
You know, the term dies of removal, people like they try to shake it off like, well, it's an obvious thing that they dies removal, but removal's cheap in general. Like, like last night, if I had a card in my deck that destroyed all artifacts, which I did in my hand, I couldn't play at the time, but I could have destroyed all the artifacts on the board. Like it's a cheap card. There's cheap cards. Like the card I had was like $1.20, right? They used to be like a $20 card, but they reprinted it. It's the creature that destroys all artifacts and enchantments and enters the battlefield with +1 counters. But yeah, so good. TCGdudes says Voltron isn't problematic. The targets are clear and the weaknesses are usually visible Free counter, damage prevention, tricky part is ready for it. Right. Well, what Voltroners like me build their deck to be hard to deal with early game. That's the thing. That's the issue I deal with. It's like I by turn 4, turn 5, I'm trying to take someone out. Poor Hillbilly's ego has been bruised so much this conversation.
Yeah.
I feel Tibalts method works well if you play the same people consistently, basically knowing the meta and knows their decks and play style. Well, that's kind of how it works in general, because there's a lot of people who kind of not recycle the same play style, but there's a lot of people with similar play styles. But yes, there's people with different play styles too. The one Rayman says, I did the same thing in 40K. I spent an entire edition not winning a single game. Had to set goals and strive to get those. 40K is a fun game and helped me learn a lot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And go ahead and read that comment, and then I'll get back to what he initially said there.
All right. If you play randos, then you need to build your deck with win conditions and resilience instead of trying to fight infinite deck strategies. That's right.
So I'm glad he brought that up. I don't feel that I'm not playing infinite deck strategies. It all comes down to it comes down to a few simple win styles.
Right.
And because I got the experience playing those different ones, I got a chance to build and put packages in each deck for each of those strategies.
Right.
And again, sometimes bad matchups happen, and they happen. So, you take the loss and you try to move on and stuff. And that was something else I had to change up here, was understand that I'm in a losing slump right now. I'll be on top again. It'll come back around.
Man, we can't win every game for sure.
Well, you can. I can.
Steven says, I don't really see an issue with Voltron by itself, but I've seen dog meat decks that start swinging for 30, 40, 50 damage using auras and had happened to have cards that just brought all the auras back. Yep, that's pretty much how it works.
Yep.
Steven says removal didn't work and they are swinging in for 42, 42 tramples. Yep, sometimes that's the thing. Hexproof is a thing. Ward is a thing.
Fogs work though, and Bajuka Bogs take care of graveyards.
Right.
So there's answers if you draw them. If you don't draw them, too bad.
Right. But the strategy would have completely fallen apart to one graveyard and a sacrifice engine too. That's right.
That's it.
One grave pack, he means. There you go. Yeah, grave pack's always good. I love
Yep.
it. There's a lot of answers out there, but the problem with kind of going against randos and stuff is you don't know what they're running in their decks all the time. You don't know how powerful the deck synergy is. But we have a pretty consistent meta, but sometimes we don't know the decks they have. Like last night, I was not expecting to go against the Coda's deck. Got my butt handed to me. Well, he played my deck for me, basically. So I'm thinking about building a deck full of fogs itself. You're gonna play my stuff? I'll fog you out. The paraquat waffles. Your kung fu is strong, but mine is stronger. That's right. I feel if you try the shotgun approach to beat all deck strategies, you neuter your deck from winning most times. I prefer to have a focus on winning and make the others try and stop me from winning. That's one of the ways I do it when I try to think of game interactions that naturally happen in game. In fact, one of the best ways to build a deck, and when you're building a deck based off the scope, if you don't know what the scope is, watch yesterday's video. But if you build a deck off the scope, one of the things you want to do is think of the basic interactions you're going to face: removal, board wipes, recursion, ways to stop things that are going to happen. You got to think about the interactions that you see in games all the time. Because the truth is, in Magic the Gathering, the most powerful cards in Magic the Gathering are usually the cards that change the placement of a card from your hand to the board to the graveyard to the top of the deck, so on and so forth. Now, it's not 100% true. It's like 90% true. There's 10% cards out there that are powerful just because Wizards likes to power creep. The one-man Rayman says, something else to remember, we have hundreds of thousands of games of data out there, and if you're further away from the first seat, you are the less likely you are to win. That's right. Even though on HILLBILLY's channel, if I'm last, I win.
Yep.
The beat all deck strategy is win turn 0. That's right. There used to be turn 0 decks in Legacy. Right, playing to win instead of playing not to lose. That's right. Play to win, have a winning strategy. Don't tell people your strategy either when you're playing a game. Like that's how I win a lot. That's how I win a lot. Is I sneak up the strategy. I like build up the things. I have weird things going on. I can see what's in my hand, and I'm playing certain things, and I'm like, I'll play this in a certain order, so two things don't match up until I play them. And lands are the most important cards. Can't cast spells without mana. That's right. Whew, man. But no, so I don't disagree with you, Tibalt. Voltrons are not the strongest decks out there in general, but I do think Voltron decks jump their own power creep. Like you can have a bracket 3 Voltron deck and it play bracket 4, or a bracket 4 Voltron deck and it play bracket 5. But the thing is one good removal spell, like the target player sacrifices a creature, gets rid of the big creature. Exile target creature, gets rid of the creature. Destroy all enchantments, hinders the creature. There's many ways to skin a cat here. I almost apologize to my cat, but he's not here. But yeah, so there's many ways to skin a cat, but the power creep thing is, I think Voltron decks jump their own power levels. Like you could say it's a bracket 3, but it's gonna play higher most times. Not all the times, because I've had bad days, and we all have had bad days with decks. No lands, no good draw, so on and so forth. Innocent Blood is a hell of a card for B and costs 1 cent. That's right.
Yeah.
Just play Door to Nothingness with Recursion. That's right.
I was thinking about bringing out my Stranger Things deck again that my wife made me. It does have that Door to Nothingness in it.
Oh, Lord.
Seems like it would be on theme again, especially with the last season of the show coming out.
You should roll a D20 to see how well it plays. Right?
Yeah.
You should run this D20 in particular because it's huge. I get if you don't catch that reference, my friends. You need to watch Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Disciple the Vault, then play Phyrexian Dreadnought and sacrifice 20 0-cost artifacts.
Yeah.
I really got to catch some of your guys' games. You could even be on the games if you're part of Discord. We ask people if they want to join the games.
Mm-hmm. Tuesdays, most of the time, it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday.
Mm-hmm. Captain Waffles, I'm so pissed. We have to wait Christmas to see the last episode. That's right.
I'm not getting Netflix until it's done. When it's done and the whole thing is out there, then we're gonna go ahead and get it so we can binge it, because that would just be too frustrating to get that close.
Right. So yeah, so Tuesdays, Hillbilly hosts a Commander game. Thursdays, Fridays, possibly Mondays now, we play Commander games on my channel. Mm-hmm. It's like, join the Discord now.
There you go. Good idea.
Yep.
They can be fun for sure.
Oh yeah, we stream them live. Yep. There you go. There should be a live link. Let me know if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll send you a better link.
And if you want to get into my Discord, just shoot me a message. You should be able to find me over on Tortoise's Discord somewhere. And if you do, just shoot me a message, private chat me, or whatever you call it, DM. And I'll send you a link to my Discord. That way you'll be able to get a hold of me.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, send them a link. You can post a link in the chat. You know you can.
I don't know my Discord link.
You know how to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, but where did the time go, my friends?
Somebody else cast it
Oh man,
and exiled it.
I still have a feeling you didn't ask all your questions.
No, I was not asking questions. Like, I have a list of Voltron stoppers. Not Voltron stopper, just a list of various budget and not budget cards that can be used to slow down a budget player. Or the other thing to do, like I said, is work with other people at the table. And I'm not the best at doing politics, but politicking for your life sometimes is the answer too. So
Don't get me wrong, I suck at politics too. It's not because I'm not good at it. It's I know I have to stab you in the back later on, anyways.
I get that. I feel bad about it, and I don't like making deals ever in anything. But you know what I mean? As I'll do things for friends. Anyway, that's going someplace else. But playing, like I do, I get that. Like I hate to give up anything or whatever. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do, and I don't want to have my hands tied for X number of turns to not be able to. But if it saves me and it gets to the game. The other thing too is to keep in mind is we're arguably supposed to be playing this for fun. So if your only desire is to win, you're not necessarily going to have fun, especially if you are against other opponents that only want to win. So that comes down to a rule zero discussion too.
Let me tell you the last time I really did some hardcore politicking. I was low in the game, and my son was going to attack me to kill me. And I said, but his threat was on the opponent's side of the board, like the other opponent's side of the board. So I convinced him that if he didn't attack me, I'd remove his opponent's creature from the game. So he didn't attack me, so I board wiped on my turn.
I knew that was coming because I talked about that before too. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So, yes, I made a deal. Yes, I saved the table, but yes, you lost everything too. That's part of what I appreciate and enjoy too, though, too. Is like, well, I said I was going to do this to the letter. Okay.
Winning is fun. I feel attacked.
Yeah, see, exactly. Get that guy.
Thank you, Rayman. So tonight, if you're available at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be doing a call out unless you reach out to me first, because I think Hillbilly wants to play. I know Player 2 wants to play. So if you want to play, let me know, and you can be our fourth.
I just want to say something about our games. My games that I throw on Tuesday nights, it's first come. Just to make it fair to everybody, it's first come first serve because the table fills up. You can't hold a seat for somebody else because you never know how long it'll be before they show up, and that's why it's always ran as first come first serve.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the table's filled up, the invites are shut off.
Oh, the real Rayman says he'll be running a local F&M tonight at the LGS I work at. Nice. So that's amazing. Amazing. That's awesome. I'm glad you get to do that. I wish I could do that. and I don't mean that ironically or anything. I just wish I could go to the game store more often.
Me too.
But anyways, my friends, what a killer filler day it's been, but we got to get to this topic.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the crew.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Woo! Hey, everybody. We're at the shill section, the thrill section. Can't believe we're here. Like, I feel like we got like half an hour left, but we don't.
Wow.
It was completely filled of words and interaction. I love it. I mean, I don't love the fact that I feel like the show went fast, but I love it.
Really?
It was a filled show, you know? But anyways, we got to get to the shill section where people can tell you where you can find them, talk to them, watch them, or in Normal's case, he will tell you what's up.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on. Let's just get everybody to 1,000 or 1,500 subscribers and help get their channels up.
Yeah. All right. Okay, really quick. Thank you guys so much. I really enjoyed these streams. Hopefully, I can get in a game on Tuesday. It's the day I'm available the most. But if I miss y'all, the call, I'll try again next time. Hey, yeah, no. Try to hit us up on Tuesday. Hillbilly's the channel to hit up on Tuesday.
Yep.
All right. And Steven says if someone plays that tutor card that moves control when used and promises to give you the second tutor, If you give him a third, don't give it back to him. That's right. Nice. All right, let's go with the Tibalt.
Dang it, I am trying to figure out how I could get this list because I actually have a Word document or a PDF that has all the removal cards on it. So I need to give handouts for the show, that so people can find that. Anyhow, I'm supposed to be shilling stuff, so go to darkritual.site. That is the best place to find everything Tibalts Apprentice there. You can find the Arcane Nexus, where you could find suggestions for cards that you might want to play in combination with other things. You can find my blog. You can find my store. You can find everything at darkritual.site.
Darkritual.site. Not .com, not .org. It's .site.
.site.
And remember to buy all your singles from Tibalts Apprentice, darkritual.site.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works, but all right. Let's go to Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. I'm mostly a standard player. I only play Commander once a week, unless I'm playing with Tortoise, which is most of the time Thursdays and Fridays. We'll be playing tonight, as far as I know. But this afternoon at 2 o'clock, I will be doing a arena stream. I'll be playing some standard. We try to come up with a new deck there on arena, and I got playing for today.
Playing for today. Woo-hoo. All right, everybody. It's Super Fast Tortoise. I want to thank you for joining the show today, having a good time, good talk, enlighten your days. I am definitely trying to get the show more up to par to brighten your days. We want to make your days good. We want to have interesting conversations. We want to fill in your hour to wake you up for your mornings. And thank you for doing that. Thank you for subscribing. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed and want some more conversations like that. Hit that like button. Share this video or hype it up if you got the ability. Hype. That's weird saying hype. Like, but still. Anyways, my friends, I want to thank you guys for all being here. Tonight's game will be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hit Discord if you want to be part of it. We already got 2 players, so we need 1 more player. With that, my friends, I want to thank you for being here. I want to remind you that you're awesome and amazing. I want to thank you, channel members, for growing the channel the way you do. Subscribers for growing the channel the way you do. You guys rock. You guys rule. I remind you that you're loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive. Oh, my Lord.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations. There you go.
Awesome.
For a second there, I thought Hillbilly did that.
Nope, I'm innocent this time. I'm innocent.
That's right. Deny everything and demand proof.
That's right. Totally blew my mind. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like I was saying, do something positive for someone else today. You might be the change it needs today. But with that, my friends, have a good night. Let's get to the end and rock on. Thank you for the new membership. I have to update the outro. I have to update the outro to put his name on the list. All right. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Where's the out of here button? Here we go.
I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show.